And welcome. My name is Francisco, and this is the Francisco Does channel, where I'm just going to do things to post on YouTube, or at least just post some of my more mundane things that I tend to do. And as such, the day of recording this video is December 31st, 2024, and this is going to be a box opening and probably a minor sleeving session for Starter Deck Joey. Now, this starter deck is the first one that I got when I was a kid. And when I purchased this, or when my mother purchased this for me, I should say, I lived in the Dominican Republic. And I remember that we got this one in English. Either way, I don't really remember why that was the case, but I'm pretty sure that it was in English. And when I found the Spanish version on eBay, I just thought that it would fit nicely. So I intend on opening it. This isn't about retaining the value of any of this stuff. It's just about re-experiencing a childhood memory, as I really wanted to open this one. So I'm just going to go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to try to do it with minimal tools, just so that it can feel as authentic as it did back then. But this is it. This is going to be the first edition box, as a matter of fact, as it says up here. And although this is not in great condition, at least the box itself is not, I still would like to be able to open this up just so that I could see what it was like back then. I could watch another unboxing on YouTube, but there's nothing like just doing it yourself. So let's get right into that. These starter decks used to actually have stickers over here, these seals, when now we actually just have adhesive that glues these lids down together, but it looks like for these we just used to have these stickers. So I'm going to try to peel this off nicely, and we're already taking some of the box art off, so this is not going to be a pretty unboxing. That's good enough on this side. Let's do the other side. Okay. Seemingly, these have been sitting here for a very, very long time, which is why I'm sure that these stickers just have a stronger hold on the cardboard or the ink by now. So I'm not surprised that that happened. Now, we just lift the lid open, as there is no more adhesive moving forward. I also really miss how the monster art used to be here on the very front to promote that these were the character docs. We don't really get that so much, not a see-through cover at least, which is something that I do miss having, but this is still really cool. Now, I'm going to go ahead and slide this out as it is, and let's put the box aside. And this is it. The cards are, of course, in Spanish, as I expected. And back then, we did not have a back plastic cover, it seems, for this, as we have gotten these with different iterations of starter and structure decks, but it looks like with the first iteration of starter decks that we used to get, we did not get that back cover, but that's okay. This is actually pretty nicely seated, if anything. Now, let's do one by one. And normally, when it comes to openings like this, I would have a playmat out of some sorts, such as my Spellground playmats, but I thought that it would be more authentic if I instead just opened this up, had a quick look, and then laid this out to unbox my cards on this. And there you have it. So we have our green zones over here, so this would be for our field spells, actually, and we have our 5 monster zones, as well as our cemetery or graveyard. Then if we turn this around, let's flip this over. you'll see that we have our duck zone, as just as before, and we have our fusion duck, not the extra duck zone, as it was called later on, since we started getting more than just fusion monsters with synchros, XZs, and link monsters. But this is what we had back in the day, I suppose, back in 2002. And yeah, so I'm going to open this up all the way. I have to be pretty gentle with this because this has just been sitting in there for a very long time. I don't know how fragile the paper would be at this point, but it seems to be pretty strong, actually. What a nice little sound to play mat that we've got here. And this is what that would look like. I have another classic playmat just laying around. It's not in the best condition, so it's pretty nice to see that this one is brand new. It's quite nice. And this is what it would be like. Also, back then, we didn't get any art on the back of these, any art or any kind of instructional strategies or anything like that. We would just get a blank sheet of paper on the back, which is perfectly okay. We didn't really mind. It was just later on that it started looking pretty cool. Now the next step is going to be to remove the manual. This would be for Master Rules 1, even though technically they weren't called Master Rules at all. Let's go ahead and focus that in. And there you go. This would be for Starter Deck Joey. Now granted, I'm sure that the rules would look exactly the same regardless of which version of the starter decks you would be opening, whether it's Yugi, Kaiba, Joey, or Pegasus. And you would get essentially the win conditions, losing as well, and you would get some general rules. And it looks like at the time you would get the specific visuals for your starter deck based on which one you purchase. So you would start seeing cards like the Red Eyes Black Dragon and Thousand Dragon as well here, instead of just seeing some generic monsters from other ones. Oh, even though we do get Relinquished here, as a matter of fact. So, there you go. Cards like Penguin Soldier and the such. These manuals were so nice. They were so nicely colored. The background just feels so classic. I love it. And yeah, so you have your phases and everything of the such. This is just really cool. Always a sight to behold with these. Nowadays, you do just get generic manuals for all of your starter and structure decks, so they don't feel so special as they did back in the day. This feels very custom. It just feels like an experience opening these up. So I'm going to put the manual aside to focus on the main event, which is right here. Remove it from the plastic. And there it is, your whole starter deck, fully sealed. And here it says Dragón Negro de Ojos Rojos. And this would be the Red Eyes Black Dragon. Un dragón feroz con un ataque mortal. I think it should have been con un ataque mortal. But anyway, let's go ahead and open this up. And just open it from here. "22-year-old plastic." How nice. Let's go ahead and flip this over and we can look at each little card individually. We have our Red Eyes Black Dragon in its full glory, and this is still a first edition card. And then we have Penguin Soldier. I remember getting this as a super back in the day as well. And Scapegoat. Nice. Now the rest of them are just going to be commons, such as Change of Heart, Harpy's Brother, Mountains. I don't remember, I think it's Malevolent Nuzzler, if I'm not mistaken. This would be 7-color fish. This would be Dark Hole. Block Attack. These don't seem to be in any particular order, really. Masaki. The Legendary Swordsman. The translation would be Exorcism, but that's not the name, that's not the English name that it has. I forgot exactly what it was supposed to be called. Castle Walls. Thousand Dragon. Super cool. Mahavilo. That did not change across languages. White Magical Hat, I believe his name was. Then you have Soldier of Dark Flames, #1. The Trusty Guardian. I don't think that's the exact name, though. Princess of Tsurugi. And we also got Turtle Island. Just Desserts. I remember this card. One of the more sinister looking ones as a kid. Flame Swordsman. Who could forget this one? Reinforcements. Flame Manipulators. Inversion Trap. I don't know exactly what his name was supposed to be. Polymerization. I always regretted that we got this artwork for polymerization instead of getting the anime's artwork that I expected to get for this card. I actually do prefer the anime's artwork, but this one's okay. It's serviceable. 7 Tools of the Bandit. That's what we have here. Spirit of the Harp. Ultimate Offering. This card should be banned for the rest of Yu-Gi-Oh's lifetime. This card is far too powerful. Way too good. Swordsman of Landstar. That's a fun one. Gearfried, the Iron Knight. Remove Trap. This Lizard. Not sure what this actually means. Dragon's Treasure. Ho ho. Giant Grenade. This card is really good. It should also stay banned for the rest of its life. False Trap. Pretty cool. Radiant Milus, I believe. Yeah, there were definitely lots of typos, actually, in these releases. I'm not sure why they didn't proofread these before releasing. Well, moving on. Big Eye. Magician of Faith. Sangan. Waboku. Eternal Rest. This card looks super cool. Baby Dragon. Monster Reborn, of course, an absolute classic. Trap All. Sword and Shield. Fissure. This card used to be really, really powerful back then. And we have, of course, the one and only Time Wizard. One of the coolest classic monster designs of all time. And there you go. That is the entire starter deck. Enjoy. Now, the idea behind this is that I actually want to be able to sleeve these up and put these inside of this box. I purchased this one because I couldn't get the older, the classic Ultra Pro 4-screen deck box look with the logo, because unfortunately I just couldn't find that one in the right color. I was finding a used beat up one that I think was blue with the right logo. I'm going to try to show it on screen so that you know which one I was looking for. I believe this is the version that came after that. Still has a similar logo, but it's just vertical instead, so it's not the same. This one looks a little more modern, and then I don't remember if I used green sleeves at the time, but it just seems fitting. So I'm going to use green sleeves to just store them away and just have it around, because why not? So that I can look at from time to time. And there you go, the entire deck is now sleeved, fully sleeved, and look at that. It looks nice and professional. I feel tournament ready, except that they didn't include a pot of greed in here, which is disappointing. Seems like a very obvious oversight, considering that pot of greed is the best card in the game, even if I don't know what it does. But it's good to know that my cards are now sleeved. Now, the story behind this box is, of course, an unfortunate compromise that I had to make, considering that this just isn't the one that I remember having. I don't remember what colored sleeves I had with this deck, or if I even had sleeves at any point, but I do remember that this is not the right logo for the one that I had, so unfortunately I just have to move on with this. Some sellers would actually promote that they had the other box, and then they would send me this one. I ended up returning it twice before, or maybe just once before I ended up just deciding to keep it, because it wasn't worth going through all of that. But this is the right color, seemingly, which I really appreciate. Now, and okay, now that we have this, these will finally go in here. We close it up, and there we have it. Now, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy this video, this nostalgic little unboxing, and hopefully you will be able to go into the new year with a newly awoken memory, let's say. If you liked this video, then please make sure to leave a like, leave a comment with any relevant thoughts regarding the unboxing and the cards that we talked about today. And Happy New Year. Until next time.